Working with files in Creative Cloud is very powerful. My name is Paul, and I'm excited to show you how it's going to start to change the way you work and really just make you much more efficient. In fact, notice how I'm in the Files section of Creative Cloud Files, and I can actually preview that PSD. I can see a PDF file in here, more PSDs, Illustrator files. I have InDesign files in here, Ping files, all sorts of them, and it's great because I can actually view that particular file. And again, that is a PSD. I can click on details right over here, and you can see the various details associated with this particular image. I get the size, the color palette, what it was made in. So this is all really valuable information. But since it's a PSD, I can do more because I can actually click on the layers icon, and you can see all of the layers in that PSD. I can turn off the headline, or I can turn off that alternate header, and you get that render right in the browser. Okay, so this is very powerful, but what's really powerful about this is the ability to share this particular file. So I can post to Behance, or I can even send someone specific a link. At this point, I've already made this link public, but really it's just a matter of entering in the person's email address. I can give them the ability to download it, send them the link, says that it was sent, and I can just add commas between all those email addresses, send it to as many people as I want. And this is the cool thing, is Karen doesn't need to have Creative Cloud to preview this file. So she can see it just like this. She can toggle on and off layers, all that good stuff. And check this out. This is where it gets really exciting, because as I go into the activity, look, I actually can add comments like I've been doing. So I first sent it to her. I asked her what she thought of it. She just comes in and says, I love it. And she asked me to make some changes, which I have. So this is very powerful. In fact, if we just want to view the comments, we can change it to comments, and you can see our conversation. And she says she likes the alternate header image, which she was able to see through the layers option. And I can say, great, made those edits, changed the header font too. I can add that comment right there. So she's going to see that comment. Our conversation isn't lost in the mix. It's not lost in email. And not only that, if I change this over to both versions and comments, check this out. You can see our whole conversation, but I can roll it back. So you can see the first one that I was working on. Okay, you get that little notification saying that I've just commented on that. But this is the first one that she was referring to. She didn't like this original image, wanted me to work on that font. That's exactly what I started to do. And you can see that design change over time as I start to get it exactly where I want it and where she wants it. And note that you can always roll back to a previous version. So this really starts to change the way you work and really just simplifies the whole process. In fact, if you're curious as to how I got these files in here, well, you can just drag a file into the browser and it will upload it. But I'm even going to go beyond this process. In fact, I want to go beyond the browser. I'm going to go to Creative Cloud Desktop Application. Notice that I get that stream of all the activity going on with those various files that I've been working on. But not only that, as I go into the Files tab, you can see I was viewing files on the web, but you can actually sync a folder to Creative Cloud. So this is your Creative Cloud folder. So check this out. I'm going to open up that folder. These are all my Creative Cloud files, all synced to my desktop, and really I want to work in this folder now. In fact, you can see the buckle JPEG. I can right-click on it. I can view this on the website, view activity, send someone a link right from my desktop. Don't have to worry about emailing it or anything like that. But let's go beyond files, because I'm actually going to add an entire folder. So I'm going to drag a folder in here. This is going to sync to Creative Cloud. In fact, you can see that it's syncing right now by those arrows. Then we will get a green check mark as soon as it's synced. In fact, as I go back to this folder, I can view this folder on the website. There it is. There's the folder as well as all the files. Notice how I can see the InDesign file, Illustrator file, PSD files as I click back. Notice how you will see it right here. Now, this is great because I can actually share this folder as well with someone else and collaborate with them. And this is where things get really exciting. In fact, going back to my desktop, doing a right click, I can add collaborators. This is great because I actually want to share this folder with another Creative Cloud member, whether they have a full membership or a trial. They will have access to these files. So at this point, it's just a matter of sending them an email. I'm going to send my fellow designer friend Kirk access to this folder. I can add another comma and then type in another email address if I want, but really I'm going to invite Kirk Dalton to view and have access to this folder to work with me on it. All right, so he's invited, he's going to get an email, and really I need help with this design. This is a PSD. He's going to have access to all of those particular files, but at this point, I need just help with this design. So I can ask him, can you help? Can you help me with this design? Just like that. Adding a comment. This comment stays with the file. He knows exactly what he needs to do. And in fact, as I click on this icon to manage collaborators, notice how it says that he was invited. In fact, if we take a look at my designer friend's view in his browser, we'll take a look at his invitation. Again, he would get this email where he's invited to collaborate on that folder, and then he can just accept that invitation. And then he can view that folder. And now he has access to all of these files, and it shows who all is the owner and who's invited to it as well. All right, so he's set up. This is the PSD as I select it. Again, as Kirk, he can see this comment and he can have access and start editing this document if he wants to. Now he's going to have that same view on his desktop, which happens to be this particular folder. He's going to have that same view, so he can edit that file however he wants. So he can edit on his desktop since he has access to it. And again, as Kirk, he can edit this file. So he can change the background if he wants to. He could change the font. In fact, in this case, I'll make sure I'm sorting by typekit fonts. And as I roll over all those different fonts, you can see how it changes. He might pick a font, something like that. But nonetheless, these are his changes that he's making. So all he has to do is save the file to his Creative Cloud Files folder, that same folder that we're collaborating on. Once he does that, on my desktop, I'll get a notification that he's updated that file. I could then select that notification to go directly to that particular file that he's edited. I can not only see the updates that he's made, but I can also see any comments that he's added to the file as well. So, viewing those comments and the file, and this is his version. I'm not crazy about the font. I think the background's a little washed out. Changed it back. Hopefully you give more of an explanation than that, but that's the comment I'm adding. In fact, as I click back to that earlier version, this is the version that I actually want to go with, and I can restore it back to that original version if I want to. So you never have to worry about someone messing up your files, if you will. In fact, he'll get a notification that that file has changed. And again, this goes back about 2 weeks, gives you all of that activity. And remember, since I've rolled it back, if we take a look at our desktop and open up that file, you can see that it actually has been rolled back and it's back to that original state. But I'd like to show you one last thing, because what you can do is you can share an entire folder. So I can send a link, and really what that means is you're making a public link to that entire folder. You can send it to somebody with an email address, but really if I just copy that URL and go into a new browser, you will see this is the view they will get. They'll be able to see all those files in that folder, click through them, as well as comment on them, and they don't need to be a Creative Cloud member to do so. So I encourage you to take advantage of collaboration in Creative Cloud. Notice the power it gives you and really how it starts to change the way you work, really syncing up all your content, your comments, your versions, all in one place, really making life easy for you.